So we are Uncle Muskrat. We're all living around the Twin Cities. Drove down here to the Clay County Fair. It's our first time here, and we are incredibly excited. It's an incredible fair, and we are literally blown away. You can make it from one corner to the other corner. We're playing in a far corner at the Farmers Bank stage, but you can make it all the way down to one corner and back. We've done it between our sets. But we're playing 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend. It's amazing. We have played 2 shows so far. Actually got a standing ovation the second show from a full crowd, and it was incredible. It was such an honor. People are listening, and people are sitting and really loving it. So we play mountain music, kind of a modern spin on mountain music. So get a little bit more hardcore into it. I don't know. What's a good explanation here?
I think, we've been playing music together for, like 4 or 5 years now. Tim, Connor, and I have known each other and grown up together in Waseca, Minnesota, so right across the border here. I guess our music right now, some of the music that we play is a little bit more modern, but some of it is so old that we really don't even know who wrote that music. So we're trying to pull a lot of influence from a lot of different places and kind of make it our own and keep that music alive. So that's what we're really trying to do here.
I'm going there to see my father. I'm going there, no more to roam. I'm just going, no joke. I'm just going.
So I was living abroad for a number of years playing the banjo on my couch by myself, and when I moved back to the United States, I literally called this guy and I was like, hey, let's turn that violin into a fiddle. And then I was like, we probably should have somebody else too. So Chris over here starts playing guitar for us, and it was just kind of the 3 of us plucking away in our garage for a while. We had an opportunity to play at Valley Fair in Shakopee, Minnesota, and they were like, you should probably have a bass player. So we actually called Connor.
Or a guitar player.
Well, no, we had a guitar player. We did. We had one.
He was the original guitar.
We did. And so we called Connor and was like, hey, we probably need a guitar player. Chris is going to switch over to the bass because he's kind of like that. He just plays everything.
Do whatever.
And then we played that show, and, we added Alex about a year later.
Yeah.
After we were playing at some breweries around, and it was just kind of such a natural fit since, these 2 over here are cousins. And so it was like, let's just make it happen. So that's where we've been. I guess the story started, it was Tim and I on a pontoon boat with some of our friends.
On the 4th of July.
On the 4th of July. I had a banjo, and we were kind of just plunking along. And, we were I was having young children, and our friends were having small children, and we were calling each other like Uncle Tim and Uncle Aaron, and I guess it was just kind of like what we were doing at the time. And
everybody was an uncle.
Everybody was an uncle.
Or whatever, the friend.
And a muskrat swam in front of the boat, and the driver at the time was just like, hey, look, it's Uncle Muskrat. And it was like instant, like, that's a great band name. And then later we were on the sandbar and having some drinks and talking to some people, playing some music, and there was this guy who was just like, hey, what's your name? Like, you guys are great. I want you to play at my house. And so immediately I was just like, well, we're Uncle Muskrat. And it's
Funny
just,
you should ask. Yeah.
It's always just been Uncle Muskrat since then. So.
If I had no horse at all, I guess I'd be crawling up and down these mountain roads, just looking for my darling.
I fell in love with a musician named Charlie Parr. I'm repping his shirt right here. He is a Minnesota-based musician, and I just really fell in love with the style of his banjo playing, and that's kind of where I drew my original inspiration from. And then as we started playing music together, obviously it's a blending of all of us at this point, right? It's no longer just a me on my couch thing. It's a 5 of us creating music together kind of thing. So the 3 of us started playing music by way of trumpet. We were in the marching band together in Waseca, and then kind of naturally just gravitated away from that and started playing some banjo. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
And then fiddle and guitar, yeah.
And I think the rest of us, all musicians, our entire life, starting with instruments in elementary school and the importance of music in school, because I think it really introduced all of us to, having family members and parents that were also musicians and in theater and directing shows and doing all this kind of thing. It was just such an inspiration pulling from there. So that's how I got my start, and I know a couple others too, just seeing others that they looked up to doing the same thing. So starting to fiddle around, no pun intended, but on our own instruments, whatever it happened to be at the time. And I mean, I started on trombone. It's funny you guys say trumpet, but it's that school instrument, you know, like the trombone turned into bass, turned into guitar, turned into literally picking up a mandolin to play with Uncle Muskrat because it was over COVID and I needed some sort of outlet musically to be able to play. French horn, did I hear? Dudes, we have a brass quintet? What are we doing? Like, we're learning a lot here while we're talking. This is incredible. We play at a number of breweries around the Twin Cities and have had some great crowds, and we ended up having a couple of acquaintances that actually worked with an agency that works with the Clay County Fair called GL Berg. And so I think Gary was actually at the brewery hanging out and happened to catch part of our set and really enjoyed what we did and approached us afterward and said, hey, I've worked with this particular fair for quite a while. They're incredible people. It's an incredible fair. You're going to be shocked when you go, which we have been. And the crowds are incredible, and they really sit and they listen and they love music. I think you guys would be a great fit. And we were like, sounds great. Let's tell, like, where is this magical place? Like, this sounds wonderful, you know? And so ends up being here in Spencer, Iowa, with the Clay County Fair, and we have had an absolute blast so far. So we are at the Farmers Bank stage Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's the three-ring circus way down on the southwest side of the fairgrounds. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to close out the rest of the fair here. If you're trying to listen to some Uncle Muskrat, or if you caught us here and really enjoyed what we were doing, you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, any of the socials, just at Uncle Muskrat. And then also on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you happen to listen to music. You can also find us, again, just search Uncle Muskrat. We're the only ones out there with the names, so.
Take another drink and pass it around. Rock cocaine, sing. Where that spring. Rock cocaine, fall. Where that fall. My old young little bed, she lay there for the railroad bill. Sometime one, sometime two. That's enough for the whole day through. Rock cocaine, sing. Where that spring. Rock cocaine, fall. Where that fall. Rock cocaine,